This is a 1977 Yamaha XS650.
I've been riding this bike for about 1 week now, and I can say it was absolutely worth it though. It's like a couch. Man. It's almost 50 years old, but I got it for 600 bucks on Craigslist, and I checked it out. It didn't run when I got it, and I found a small electrical problem and fixed it, and now it runs. But here's some things I wish I'd known before, getting started with this Yamaha. You're gonna have some tolerance for machinery and things not working. This was quite a deal for $600, I think, but the compression is what really is important. So you gotta check the compression on each cylinder. This is a 135, 132 on each cylinder, which is okay. Anything over 100, I think is okay, but I don't know if I recommend this for anyone. I'm mechanically mildly inclined, so I like to tinker and get away with messing around and learning how to fix things up, but it's not for everyone, I have another video describing all the mechanical steps I went through to kind of check this system out. Also, I don't have any real gear, so don't recommend doing that. You should get real gear before you start biking. I'm just on a budget. I'm only $600 in right now, so helmet, I have that coming. I got that for a couple hundred, 150 bucks. Cheap helmet. No fancy Bluetooth, nothing like that. But before this bike, I'd never actually been on a motorcycle, ever, in my entire life. I was extremely skilled in bicycles, and I'd even put a motor on a bike before, one of those Chinese motor kits. So I was a little familiar with stuff like that, although that was only 50cc, maybe 2 horsepower. This is a lot more. And the funny thing is, I didn't know this at the time, but the clutch on a bigger system like this is actually a lot more forgiving. Having to learn to use a clutch on such a weak motor actually made me a lot better getting used to the friction zone on a clutch like this. So, although I did stall out a few times when I started still, there's a friction zone, and I'd recommend you don't just have it on or off. Whenever you move the clutch, you move it slowly in or out. Don't think of it like a MOSFET. I'm an electrical engineer, so when I started, I thought of it like a MOSFET, and MOSFETs you want to switch like that very quickly, usually on the terms of micro or nanoseconds, to not mere power from your engine into your clutch, because as you switch, as you let the clutch in and out, you're going to reflect a lot of power into the clutch and dump heat. The clutch is built for that. That's exactly what it's there to do. to reduce shock loads on the transmission and the gearing and everything. Grind that clutch away. That is replaceable. Wear components. Do not just drop the clutch. Don't do it. So that's a mistake I made for a long time. Stall. Anyhow. But yeah, my grandfather might have had a bike just like this, my mom tells me, but might be the reason why I was so in love with this thing. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this is beautiful. And everywhere I go with it, people look at it and stop me, and they're like, that's a really pretty bike. I'm like, I know, it's awesome. It's very exciting. I've never had anything like it. I guess might be what people feel like when they have like sports cars or Lamborghinis, where people stop them very often. But
there's a car.
I'm not sure. Of course, those are expensive. This is like $600, so it's not the end of the world. But clouds are very pretty over there. I never knew how amazing it was. One of the things that shocked me was I'd never been on a motorcycle before with this kind of power. I'd been on bikes, little motors and electric bikes, but shifting gears. I've never really used a standard transmission. Once on a Jeep before when I was in college with some girls who were my friends, but I stalled it out a few times. I never quite figured it out. So this is really my first experience using a transmission, a standard transmission as well, and shifting gears. And I cannot describe the passion, joy, and spiritual ecstasy shifting from first to second smoothly and accelerating. It is amazing. The other gears after that are nice too, but the shift is really powerful. So I've never even been to 5th gear yet. I think the highest I've been is 4th gear. I've gone about 45 miles on this, but I don't have any gear, so I'm taking it really safe. So in conclusion, I highly recommend the motorcycle. Just maybe get protective gear before, and if you're not manically adventurous, like I am, or manic, probably manic, don't, you know, maybe not get such an old machine. But if you do, make sure the compression's good. Everything else can be fixed. You can't bore, you know, that's a whole nother bowl of worms. So I do a lot of work on boats, and I have a boat too, and my car, but I'm building a trailer to trailer this thing around on my car, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I like the bike very much. So now I have to go down to City Hall tomorrow and register it with the government, so I can pay the government money every year to own a motorcycle. Although I heard that New Hampshire is looking to abolish inspections. If it passes in the House or the Senate or one or the other, it just has to pass in the other one. That would be tremendous, so Godspeed. But I hope you guys ride your bike, eat your heart out, live it up. It is part of being human. I like it a lot. But it is very dangerous. One of the reasons I actually got into the motorcycle was I was sitting in the office, and my two coworkers, some of my mentors came in, who are like, you know, 30, 40, 50, and they said, we used to bike, and then we settled down and had to give the bike up. And I'm sitting there, and I'm only 26, and I said, oh my gosh, I might settle down soon. I really want to have a family. I've never been on a bike. Opened up Craigslist right then and there. Motorcycle. Found this, bought it, trailed it back home, learned how to use the clutch and the transmission, and learned to bike and fixed it up. Now I bike. Legend. Yeah, very fun. I'm really excited to take this out on country roads in the backwoods. I kind of live in Manchester, so, you know, I'm afraid of cops. I'm next to a school, I should have said that. But yeah, highly recommend. I'll keep putting videos of this thing up as they come. YouTube seems to really like this, so yeah. Thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning in and all the support. I've never had so much support with anything on YouTube. Usually I get like one view, so this is good. This is very good. All right, rock and roll. Sometimes the electric start works. Don't count on it though.